someone glances their eyes over the request for that miracle moment, it is joining the collective morphic field that all of us in this community are creating. And so it isn't one person looking at the request. It is many of us looking at the request, and we all come with an entourage of guides and angels. And so this healing energy we are sending individually is amplified by our oneness that we join together, that collective field of all of us. And so I invite you to take a moment to send love, compassion, and healing energy to all of those who have requested it. Take a moment to feel into the unified field that is collectively joining us now in sending energy to those who have requested it. And I invite you now to close your eyes and collectively let us send energy to our relatives, our biological family and friends, especially for those who have requested it in the miracle moment. And let us now collectively send love, compassion, and healing energy to all children everywhere, especially to those children who have been requested for that energy in the miracle moments. And let us now send energy, love, compassion, healing energy to ourselves. You are included in this miracle moment. Allow yourself to receive the amplified energy that we are collectively sending to everyone in the miracle moment. Let us also send this wave of loving energy that's being amplified to all of our precious animals, our companions that give us unconditional love. And if there's any of those precious animals that have been requested for healing within the miracle moments, let us also send energy to not just the animals, but to their carers. And so I invite you to now surrender into the process. We've sent the energy. Allow the miracle moment to unfold with grace, beauty, and ease. And from this energetic posture, let us now move into the circle of 12, because Kryon, we are now ready to receive.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon. Come a little closer. Indeed, the air is thick with compassion, with love. When many are gathered together in any form, even all over the world, with a singular thought, it changes things. This continues to be the teaching that we have given since the beginning, that consciousness has an energy about it that really, truly has not been acknowledged until these times. This new energy that we speak of in the shift is a time for revelation. And it's not just revelation about the things that you didn't know, or perhaps the things that have been hiding, even in your societies, or the things that have been hiding elsewhere. It's revelation about yourselves, and especially what a group of light workers can do together. Dear ones, the energy we present today is potent with feeling. We're going to do a circle of 12, which many of you may have trouble with. But it's a healing circle of 12. Because many of the things that perhaps lay underneath the surface that affect you, or that create with you sorrow, are what we're going to deal with today. And the whole idea of this in this circle of 12, where we'll go and what we're going to do, is solution and completion. You'll see what I mean. In order to do this correctly and properly, we have to have your agreement yet again that this is a proper thing to do, that it's a real thing and it's not an imaginary thing. That what you do in this circle of 12 is your ability in this new energy to cross a bridge that's dimensional and go to an area that doesn't seem like it has the same rules as your linearity and your three-dimensional experience. And yet again, we will remark, as we always do, that even physicists see a multi-dimensional body and reality, even if you don't. In other words, since you live in a group of dimensionalities, which we will call four dimensions, that's your reality. Because you don't spread out of that much. But you can. Hopefully in that future that you will have on this planet, there'll be even more who will see and stretch that dimensionality that you have into greater dimensions and show you that you can go there and be there and do it. And the discoveries will enhance that belief you have right now that perhaps, just perhaps, you can do more than you think. What I just said was the future contains the seeds for potential discovery where moving into other dimensions will be reality. Right now, it's sequestered to a program like this, or perhaps yourself even, as you with yourself enter a prayerful attitude and can move into dimensionalities yourself. That's what we're doing right now. The circle of 12 is for all of you together, and yet it's for individuals. Tonight, specifically, for individuals. All of you participate, but it's very personal. The bridge that you always cross with me, if you've done this before, is a symbol of moving into another area, another place, other than 4 dimensions. The metaphor is complete. When you cross the bridge, anything is possible. When you move into that which is the dimensionality of your spiritual self, your soul, there is no limit to dimensions. You're going to see that in a moment. We've done many things in this circle of 12 where we take you to your soul. Not quite like this one. So I'm going to invite all of you right now who wish to come with me and do something that some of you have wanted to do, if you could. But you can't. Not in 4D. But there is a way where you can do something in a multidimensional platform like your soul. Today. Right now. Tonight. Right now. Please. Take my hand. Let's go. Some of you look forward to this moment and have every week. Whether you listen to this in a real time frame or a replay, it doesn't matter. It's happening now for you. We move across the bridge together. Now, when I say together, I mean you and I. Even though you're a massive group, it's you and I. Take my hand. Again, I say, continue to take my hand as we walk across this bridge. We move through the mist and into that which is the dimensionality of your soul, a dimensionality that some of you have actually experienced in this lifetime, mostly through near-death experiences. You've gone to a place that was so beautiful that you didn't even want to come back. And that's where we're taking you right now. And the beauty of this place, not only is it your home, your real home, but it's also where you belong. This earth and your body is transitory, and you know it is. You don't stay on this planet very, very long. But your soul, there's no time. Literally, no time. In a multi-dimensional state, time not just variable, it often does not exist as a paradigm. Now that is tough. It's tough for any of you who live by your clocks and your watches and all of the minutiae you do. You're always timing everything, even a lifetime. You're always looking at the existence of things. There has to be a beginning and an end. But dear ones, your soul is in a circle. If it has an existence, if you want to call it that, it's in a circle. And that means there is no beginning and there's no end to a circle. Think of it this way: God, your soul, all of these things that are timeless, where there is truly no beginning or end. Think of it all in a circle. That'll help you to understand that it's always going around and around and around. So there's no reason to time anything. It's always simply there. Now, if you make that circle very, very small, then it becomes even more obvious. So instead of a long, long circle, which has a time limit, if you make it a small circle, it's always going around very quickly. As you make the circle smaller and smaller, pretty soon it turns into a dot. And that is a now. So you're always in the now, and there's never a beginning, and there's never an end. Now what that means to you, dear ones, that in this magic place where there is no time, it is timeless. But you have the ability in that to go back in a linear time and revisit things that perhaps you'd like to revisit. Let me say that again in another way. I want you to meet somebody. I want you to come into a room through a door. This door is different. It's not exactly the door you've been through. This one is very special. It glows differently. It has another color to it. It's a beautiful, beautiful place of resolution, of completion. And in order to do this right, you walk into a room, not a theater. A room that is glowing in a beautiful, beautiful blue. You might say it's almost like when the day turns to night and there's that beautiful blue in the sky that is partial between day and night. And that also is a metaphor. The sun never sets here, never comes up here. It's always the same. And I want you to meet someone. There's always someone to meet, dear ones. You met the Star Master in a place like this just recently, in another circle of 12. Now I want you to meet the Time Master. And that is a metaphor. You don't really need help to do this. But that which is your life in a 3D way helps to have a guide, helps to have an authority. And so here is the one. And the question that the Time Master will ask you is this: is there any time in the past that you'd like to revisit? Especially a time, perhaps, when you did not get to say the things you wanted to say to someone who has passed. Relatives, friends, mom, dad, children. Things you wish you could say to them right at that moment before they passed their energy into their own souls. Things you did not get to say. Perhaps it was a goodbye. Perhaps it was I love you. Perhaps it was I forgive you. Perhaps the messages are go even beyond that. This is profound. It is sometimes painful. But in the painful of the revisitation, there is a solution and completion. You'll see, that is the healing for today. I want you to come here with me and face off with the Time Master and tell him, where would you like to go? That point at which there was the loss of life that bothers you to this day, that you couldn't say what you wanted to say. And I want you to go there with me, with the Time Master, and sit before this individual, mom, dad, friend, child, and you say what you need to say, that you've always wanted to say. It's not going to rewrite what happens on this planet, dear ones, but it rewrites that which is in your subconscious. But in this particular case, the person you face off with right now is here. If indeed this is real, if indeed this is your soul and it's timeless, that person you lost is here, now, listening with you, ready to hear what you say. This is not an exercise. This is a reality. What is it you'd like to say? There's so many of you with so many messages, and sometimes they're the goodbye you didn't get to say because the relative or friend or child you lost, you didn't get to them in time, or perhaps you couldn't get there, or they were far away, or perhaps they left a little too quickly. There's always something you want to say now that you didn't get to say then. Sometimes it's a simple thank you, thank you, thank you that you didn't get to say, or I'll cherish you forever that you didn't get to say, or I forgive you that you didn't get to say. All of these are just a portion of the message you might have to that individual you want to talk to right now. I want you to visualize them as being there. And you can let the tears flow if you wish, because now is the time to rewrite that which you didn't get to do in a linear time. This is a magic time. There is no time here, dear ones. You can stay with this individual as long as you want to. You can revisit this place. You can come back across this bridge all by yourself and do it with others that perhaps you've lost anytime you want to. And that which is your conscious is listening, and the people, the individuals that have been lost are real. This is where they're real. Their souls are with your souls, dear ones. That's the place you're in, if you want to call it that. A dimension that has no limit. It's all dimensions, all at once. All things are possible in where you are right now. Stay here. Stay. Say the things you need to say. There's just quietness now with the music playing. It's time for resolution. You know what I mean. Do it. And you'll receive that which is the validation that it's real, that they can hear you, that they're listening. And for you, a healing. Stay. And so it is. to you, dear one, I want to show you who you've become. I want to show you something beautiful that you have accomplished. Each old soul that listens to this has some control of their synchronicity simply by acknowledging that they are magnificent. No affirmations needed, even at the basic level. Already you are creating synchronicities. One of them is here, right here, in the chair, with me next to you. And the Time Master and you and I show you something and enjoy something and participate in something together. And on the ceiling, you see various scenarios of you walking around doing things. And as soon as it occurs, you say, yes, I remember that day. That was just a few months ago. And there I was. I'm walking along. I'm doing, I remember this. Oh, yeah. I remember that. And the Time Master freezes that image and says, this is the synchronicity that occurred to you. You don't actually know what happened there. And you may not know what it means just yet, dear ones. But I want to back it up, and I want to show you another path that you didn't take. It's almost like there were multiple doors to walk through. And what you did was to follow that intuitive love that has developed in you, that is helping to control your life and expecting good things, and naturally walked through the correct door. When I say the correct door, it's the one made for you, has your name on it. You created it. In that menu of life, you ordered it and you walked right through it. But let me show you the other door that you didn't walk through. You see, behind that, you don't want to know. It wasn't a good one. It wasn't suiting to your magnificence, and you didn't choose it. But dear one, I want you to think about something. There are those who don't know better and just walk wherever the door takes them. And so many of them walk through the wrong doors. Wrong only because it doesn't suit them. It's not their magnificence. It's not their perfect path. Look at another scenario. Do you remember last week when something happened to you? This is very, very, very perceptual to you now. Perceptual in the fact that it's recent and you feel it. It's current. And on the ceiling is another scenario where you did something, perhaps a phone call or said something or something very minor, and it had a cascading effect of love, and that then persuaded someone on the other end of the line to share something with you or something simple like that, and it saved their life. And you weren't even aware of it. They had a different thought because you opened up and said something to them that was loving and compassionate and meaningful. That was a door also that you went through. That is synchronicity, to be able to say the right things at the right time to those who need to hear it. That's synchronicity. If you hadn't done it, if you had gone through another door at that moment, perhaps that person would have had a different outcome, but they listened because you had something to say to them that was wise and meaningful and changed their heart. This is the beauty of placing in front of you that idea. Dear Spirit, put me in the right place. Help me to say the right things, to know what to do and when to be silent. That's all that is projected in front of you when you say, show me what I should do. You could sit in that room with this Time Master, and event after event, you'd see the door you walked through and the one you didn't. And it would make you shudder, perhaps, to see the things that you have missed. And a normal human at this point, not an old soul, would say, wow, I really dodged that bullet. And the answer is, no, you didn't dodge it at all. It just was never fired. You went through the correct door at the right time. Are you getting this? Blessed is the human being who understands that wherever they walk, in front of them can be love. That's what I wanted to show you. I want you to stay for a moment and think about the good things that have happened and the synchronicities and the healings of even perhaps being here now in a safe place. I don't want you to think about the things that didn't happen. The Time Master will show you that. But only so you can celebrate who you are, what you've done, and how heroic all of this is. There's so many who don't know how to do this. And they can do it too. Every single one of them. Stay. Stay and enjoy the magnificent you today. And breathe a sigh of relief that you can go here anytime you want. I am Kryon in love with humanity. And so it is.